Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am an astrologer and I make videos all about astrology. Okay, so in today's video we're going to be talking about the asteroid Juno in the signs Libra through to Pisces, and in part 1 you can find Juno in signs Aries through to Virgo. I will link that down below. And if you're interested to learn more about Juno, then watch the introduction video. There I talk about the Greek mythology of Juno and its function within your birth chart. But before we do dive into today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and click the bell. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my practical astrology ebooks and merch. All the links will be in the description box below. Alright, so I do hope that you find this video to be helpful today. Let's do this. I just want to quickly mention that I started a Juno series last year. I only did signs Leo and Virgo, and the style was much different. So consider this a remake and an updated version. And also remember, you're looking for this glyph in your natal chart. You need to select Juno from the additional object section on astro.com. Okay, so Juno in Libra. When forming meaningful relationships, you need feedback and for things to be fair. You need to make sure things are harmonious and well balanced, meaning that you must feel a healthy balance between giving and taking. If things are too one-sided, you'll feel uneasy or frustrated. You value your partner's input, but you also want yours to be considered and valued just as much. In fact, companionship is important to you. You might be the first one to bring up your desire to cooperate or to reach a compromise. Or it could be that you seek a committed partner who is equally willing to bring these things up, and they don't just solely fall on you. But at the same time, you seek someone who is willing to disagree with you, provided they are fair and rational and they aren't just acting from emotion. And you also want someone who can judge things quite well, quite fairly. Someone who is tactful. Ideally, you are seeking a marriage partner who is both intelligent and attractive, someone who is both diplomatic and artistic. Now, when it comes to things like jealousy and possessiveness, you can feel uncomfortable. After all, it's these types of things that can get in the way of harmony and union. You typically try to rise above these behaviors as well. Even though you can feel jealousy, it's not likely that you'll communicate your unease. You're more passive than direct. You prefer for things to be somewhat peaceful. And when there is an issue, okay, you prefer it if your partner just brought things up in a tactful and considerate way. They consider your point of view and how their words impact you, and you will do the same in return. But there is a but here. If things do not play out this way, you can be highly disagreeable and argumentative, okay? These parts of you will present themselves. And if your partner ever betrays you, same thing. You will retaliate by being uncooperative and unwilling to compromise. You can do the whole tit for tat thing where you seek to settle the score. If they hurt you, you might set out to hurt them back. Maybe you'll want them to experience the pain you felt because of them. Then again, you might act all nice and sweet and calm above the surface, but underneath, behind the scenes, you're planning your escape. And if things aren't reciprocal, you can be manipulative until you get your way. You might not be the most direct about your desires. You can be a lot more subtle. But if you want things to be reciprocal, you'll use your intellect to make it so. You might also weigh out things when it comes to compromising, so you'll explore your options before making a decision. Though on the other hand, you can be indecisive at times. Still, you can be a romantic, considerate, and pleasing committed partner. Juno in Scorpio. When forming meaningful relationships, you need emotional depth and an intimate connection. You need to feel a deep sexual attraction and for there to be both sexual and emotional intensity. You want to feel close to your chosen mate, and being able to explore your sexual desires together might be important as well. No matter how dark and twisted things are, you aren't afraid to go there with the right person. You might also prefer to be the more dominant one within your relationships, the one who takes control, or it could be that you seek a committed partner who is like this towards you, someone who isn't afraid to dominate you and give you orders, someone who you willingly submit to because you respect them. Then again, it could be that you enjoy when your partner is submissive towards you. Ideally, you are seeking a marriage partner who is highly sensual and sexual, but they're also compassionate and highly perceptive. Someone who is aware of their dark side. Moreover, like I said, you might attempt to control and possess your partner. Now, this could be a strictly sexual thing, such as possessing within the bedroom, or it could be something that you both agree on within your daily lives. However, if jealousy and suspicious attitudes present themselves and there's intentional hurt involved, these things have not been talked about, you will become angry fast. If your partner tries to possess or control you, you won't stand for it. You prefer passion and power within your relationships, but you won't accept abuse. And if there is an issue, you prefer to address things head on, just directly, but with sensitivity at the same time. You are good at confronting issues and getting to the root cause, the root of the problem. And when you resolve an issue with your partner, the relationship transforms, hopefully for the better. And if you discover a few ugly truths along the way, so be it. Better to address our darkness than to let it consume us, than to let it consume and poison the relationship. And if your partner ever betrays you, it can feel like a sin, okay? You will retaliate by being furious and possibly vengeful. You might do things out of spite moving forward, or you might completely cut the other person out of your life. And if or when you decide to end things, there's no turning back, okay? There's no turning back. You'll also be emotionally strong when walking away. Though another possibility is you refrain from offering your resources, okay? Your resources such as your money and your materials, or you refuse to have sex. And if things aren't reciprocal, you can be quick-tempered and possibly destructive. Or you might insist on things changing. You demand that things change. And you'll not back down either. You might be unwilling to compromise, especially if things feel off, but you can and will compromise provided your partner has gotten through your tough exterior, your tough shell. Let's just say you can take some time or a lot of time to open up and to trust, but when you do, you can be super loving, super affectionate, very empathetic, and highly compassionate. But still, you can be a devoted, strong, and intuitive, committed partner. All right, so let's move on to Juno in Sagittarius. When forming meaningful relationships, you need freedom and exploration. You need adventure, excitement, and plenty of movement. You need to know you can roam And you also need to engage in intellectual discussions. The type of conversations that involve philosophy, art, culture, travel, and psychology, etc. Moreover, perhaps it's important to you that you and your partner share similar religious or moral views to know you're both on the same page there, or at the very least, to be open-minded to one another's views. You might also prefer to visualize a future with your partner to see how you can expand and grow together. Or it could be that you seek a committed partner who can visualize these things. Someone who is optimistic about your future, someone who really wants to grow with you. And also someone who is willing to share with you and teach you new things. Ideally, you are seeking a committed partner who is principled yet adventurous. They stay true to their faith, but they're also open to exploring the world around them. And things like envy and possessiveness will make you want to run fast. In fact, being controlled or confined can make you fearful. These things might make you question commitment. You also want honesty and straightforwardness. So if your partner doesn't see a bright future with you, you want them to be real with you. Yeah, you prefer truth, no matter what. Even if things seem too blunt or frank, you just prefer for things to be sincere. And when there is an issue, again, you want your partner to be straight with you. On the other hand, there's a part of you that might want to run away from any issues, especially issues that are heavy or serious or super challenging. There is a part of you, you see, that can avoid responsibility. But no matter what the situation, you would rather be open about things. However, you also have the tendency of exaggerating issues. So making issues bigger than what they are, a bigger deal than what they actually are. And if your partner ever betrays you, you will retaliate honestly, but you probably won't hold grudges. I suppose it depends on the situation, okay? But perhaps you'll want to move forward. And if you decide to leave, you'll still consider what lessons that relationship taught you. And you'll consider how you can move forward on your own. Perhaps you wish to understand the higher meaning of your relationships. And if things aren't reciprocal, you can be open about how you see things. You might bring things up to your partner in a more humorous way, or you might preach about the changes you wish to see. You're willing to argue your point of view. Also, you might not want to compromise, but if you see a higher meaning in it, you will. Then again, you can be changeable, and so you might not stick to certain plans in place. Still, you can be an uplifting, versatile, and fair-minded committed partner. Juno in Capricorn. When forming meaningful relationships, you need maturity and responsibility. You need commitment and practical plans to be set in place. You need to feel like the relationship is truly worth it to you in the long run. And you also need to know the other person is in it for the long term too. Commitment and follow through matter to you. Okay, these things, they mean a great deal to you. That way you feel more secure and you can start setting long-term goals in motion. Not to mention, you'll not feel like your energy is being wasted. You might prefer to be the one in control, to be the one with the most authority within the relationship. Whatever you say goes. Or you might be seeking after a partner for financial or status reasons. Or it could be that you seek a committed partner who is in control themselves. Someone who is a boss or who knows how to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. Now, if things like jealousy or possessiveness present themselves within your relationships, you can become angered and very cautious. I mean, you can already be cautious in the beginning, and so if these things start to present themselves, you'll be even more cautious. Though you might not show these things outwardly, and so you'll behave perhaps in a very cold way. You strongly dislike anything that threatens the security of your relationship. You might even repress or deny any feelings of jealousy you feel. Perhaps in your mind they are unnecessary, these feelings, they're unnecessary and they don't really serve any purpose. Still, these emotions, they can come out in other ways, such as you attempting to boss your partner around or you attempting to control your partner. You want to be respected though within your relationships overall. And you might also prefer integrity. And when there is an issue, you prefer to handle things in an adult-like way. You want to address things rationally and with purpose. And any emotional outbursts can make you feel uncomfortable. And if your partner ever betrays you, you will retaliate by being cold and snarky. You can be disagreeable, immovable, and rigid. You might also be very demanding or more demanding. And if things aren't reciprocal, you can be degrading and at times punishing. Essentially, you want your views to be recognized as well. You might also take a while to compromise. You take your time, and when you do, it's with good reason. You compromise with purpose, and you also consider the long-term consequences and impacts. Still, you can be a disciplined, hardworking, and ambitious committed partner. Juno in Aquarius. When forming meaningful relationships, you need friendship and to be an individual. You want to feel the connection you have with your partner, but you also understand you are separate from them. You had a life before them, and so you wish to have a life that exists outside of your relationship as well. You might enjoy doing things on your own, away from the relationship. They're just drawing from people I know or knew with this placement. My dad had Juno in Aquarius and he was married to my mother for over 40 years, and he would go to a coffee shop every Saturday, well, most Saturdays, and he would go to football matches as well. He enjoyed doing things outside of the house on his own. Moreover, you value being friendly and kind and sort of weird with your partner. You might prefer to show courtesy and for things to be surprising as well. Or it could be that you seek a committed partner who is courteous and thoughtful towards you. Someone who doesn't just think about themselves, but they also think about others. Someone who can be independent and free, yet structured and committed. And when it comes to things like possessiveness and jealousy, you strongly dislike these things. You don't like feeling restricted or being bossed around either. And if you ever experience jealousy or possessiveness from your partner towards you, you will most likely run away or just feel really awkward and weird. Either that, or you'll get into this heated debate / argument with your partner and you'll stick to your opinions. Now, you can also experience random waves of jealousy yourself, and when you do, you might deny your emotions, similar to those with Juno and Capricorn. And when there is an issue, you prefer to be reasonable, rational, and fair-minded about things. You dislike emotional reactions and outbursts, and if things aren't resolved, you'll keep thinking things over until they are. You might even experiment with new ways of doing things. And if your partner ever betrays you, you will retaliate by being detached and distant. You might need to process things in your head. Then again, you might become completely emotionally detached if the betrayal is really bad, okay? You just check out emotionally. On the other hand, if things can be resolved, okay, after there's betrayal, once you come up with the words to say to your partner, you'll approach them just to talk about things, again, in a more rational, fair-minded way. And if things aren't reciprocal, you can be rebellious. Or you might step into a debate, okay? You can even call your partner a hypocrite. Now, typically, you don't want to fly off the handle, you don't like losing control, but sometimes you can. And when you do, you can say things that don't make a lot of sense. You kind of just throw a spanner in the works. And if you think an idea is good, you will compromise, but you can be stubborn. You can be hard to sway sometimes, or a lot of the times. Still, you can be a dependable, experimental, and reforming committed partner. And lastly, Juno in Pisces. When forming meaningful relationships, you need sensitivity and compassion. You need your partner to be sensitive to your needs and emotions, and you want them to show you compassion during times when you're struggling emotionally. Moreover, you want to enjoy the fantasy world with your partner, to escape reality together. You might like going on retreats, and you also seek complete faith and devotion, and to feel intertwined both emotionally and spiritually. Then again, you can be highly idealistic. You might put your partner on a pedestal, or you might have these high expectations that seem somewhat impossible to uphold. The moment your partner no longer behaves how you imagine them to, you can feel disappointed and very low. Still, you might prefer boundless love and deep understanding, even if things are unrealistic, and you can also be a pretty submissive partner. Moreover, you might prefer to be gentle, kind, and tender towards your partner, or it could be that you seek a committed partner who is gentle and kind, someone who is in touch with their emotions, but they're also empathetic towards other people's emotions. They care about other people. Perhaps also they are artistic and creative. Furthermore, you can be sensitive to jealousy, and you might also take on your partner's jealousy without realizing it. Your jealousy and your partner's jealousy can impact you deeply. So when you experience jealousy, for instance, you feel it so strongly that you feel super uncomfortable. You might find it hard to concentrate. All you can think about is this emotion you're feeling, and you also have the tendency of just going on and on and on about it without letting it go. And if your partner shows any type of jealousy, at times you can blame yourself for it too. Perhaps boundaries must be established in this way, and also perhaps you are working on healing a few things within yourself. And when there is an issue, you might be passive, or you might go along with what your partner wants to do. Maybe you surrender, or you prefer for things to be peaceful, or maybe you just think, I want my partner to be happy. Now, as someone who has Juno in Pisces, I can relate to a lot of the things that I've been touching on so far. Though on the other hand, if your intuition is telling you to address an issue, you'll follow it. You'll follow your gut. Yeah, when you feel deeply about an issue, you won't rest until things are sorted out. And if your partner ever betrays you, you will retaliate by withdrawing or detaching or behaving as a victim. Then again, you might give your partner a second chance, or you might seek help from elsewhere. But if you've really had enough, you'll decide to swim away, so to speak. Then again, sometimes it can be your own dreamy expectations that can hurt you. And if things aren't reciprocal, you can be self-pitying. Also, you can act like a martyr as you try to gain sympathy from your partner or from others. Now, often you might compromise without considering your needs. Then again, perhaps you are open to making sacrifices within your relationships. You want to give and sort of serve in this way. And as I say, you want your partner to be happy. Still, you can be an empathetic, sentimental, and caring committed partner. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes Juno in the signs Libra through to Pisces. Like I said, signs Aries through to Virgo will be linked down below along with the introduction video. Please let me know if you did find this video to be helpful today. I would really appreciate that. And as always, let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. But with All of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very, very soon.